Hey everybody, this is Grace. And oh my goodness, I just went to a grocery store that I stopped going to for maybe as much as 2 years because it took me, I think it took me a little bit. Like I experienced some things that were pretty negative and I didn't, just negative. And then finally I stopped going. They had like mold on their fruits and vegetables. I ordered some to be not delivered, but me to pick up one another time, and there was mold on it. Not mold. What is it? Maybe it is mold. Yeah, fruits and vegetables, stuff like that. And I'd ordered diet, caffeine-free cans. During 2020 especially, and they would do one that was diet, caffeine-free, and then the other ones like a sell 3 for whatever, 12-pack cans. And they'd give me the other one without the caffeine free. It would have caffeine. And I'd call them and complain, and I'd say, look, this is what they're doing. Oh, they can't do that. They can't ring it up. I said, well, apparently they did. What they would do is just ring up the first one, and the two, they just say times 3. Anyway, so at some point I stopped going to it or whatever. And just lately I've been going back to it because they have one thing that I like. And they don't sell it like the same way at other places. They sell it, but not the same way. Anyways, it's 2 things. But this one I went to, and it's just been so frustrating lately. It's kind of like people have been getting away with things in stores. Because yesterday I had 4 things in a row that people were filthy, with. But today, this one, the guy that was doing the groceries, the cashier, only one open, of course. And there's one store, they never have it open. You have to ask permission to be rung up, like people who are disabled or older or whatever is their thing, or they just don't work for the company. But this one, it was a guy. He was ringing up the items, and I noticed in the woman in front of me, I thought, did she tick him off or something? The way he was doing her groceries, he was like picking them up, and like when some people, not everybody does this, but some people, when they get angry or something about something, they'll throw something on the counter, real hard, on the countertop. Well, this guy was a cashier, and he was doing this to this woman she was taking him quite a while. He was taking her quite a while to ring her up because she had a lot of fruits and vegetables, I guess was the reason. And then all of a sudden he started doing that to her grocers, 2 women. And I was just looking over there like, what the crap is wrong with this guy? And then they say something to him that offended him. Even if so, you don't do that. You walk away, you get another cashier up there. That's very poor behavior. And then it came my time to check out, and I'm like, whoa. And then he did it again. He took something the first time. I think it was some kind of vegetable or something. And then he took another thing that was in the box, 2 of them. And I said, please don't throw my stuff like that. Throw my stuff down like that. And he looked at me and laughed. He was a man around my age. And maybe he was just mad at something in his mind, Or maybe he was mad at work. I've seen that happen before. The people mad with their boss for not getting their break when they wanted to. So they take it out on the customer. No. So I went there, I was like, this is it again. I mean, they charge more than other stores for their products. And you would think you'd have some kind of customer service. But that's why I stopped. One of the reasons I stopped. Another reason that I found also, it was the fruits and vegetables, but also bugs in 2 of the bags of lettuce. And I showed somebody in there that was shredded lettuce. And I showed an employee right there and said, look at this. And she goes, oh my. It's exactly, Oh my gosh. And I told her, about the other one. She goes, oh my, Because there's more than one thing. And for places that they're going to charge you more than the other markets. Well, anyway, I'm tired. I am so tired of these places getting away with so much stuff. Like yesterday I went to a restroom, and it's happened twice. It's happened. I have a problem with my hamstrings on my legs, And I have for years if I go to the restroom, I have to have those bars to help me. I'll just leave it at that, to lift up and all that. And so I have to use the one that's for people with disabilities. So many times this has happened, but twice in the past few days. 2 different places, 2 different chains. So the people take their breaks in those, and they get in there and lift their legs up, and you can, like when I pass by or I'm trying to open the door, I don't know that anybody's in there because half the time they're already closed. And I see, don't open it, but it's women's room, and they got too much of a gap there, and you just see feet there, I'm losing my voice, but yeah, and they're taking like one woman, she said, "I'm on the phone." Because I thought the door was, I thought nobody was in there, because there's usually, if there's not, but if there is, it's somebody on their phone. And it's so many different, at least 4, I would say, different chain stores. Well, no one's. Let me tell you, that is not their break room to go make phone calls. It's not. I remember years ago when places had to start making accommodations for people with disabilities. And, I'm talking decades, really. And there was so much of temper tantrums, But people were right on both sides. On both sides, on the fence, whether it was the merchant or the customer, or the patron, whatever, to say, hey, you have to make accommodations for us. That's right. They should. Okay, merchants who complained about them, I don't know. But now the problem is people who don't need them are going to take advantage of it to have like this kind of thing for their break. So they can go sit in the bathroom and talk to people on the phone. And it happened once yesterday, and I think the 2 days before then, something like that. At a different place, totally different chain, like I said. I'm like, really, my gosh. And this isn't new. I do these food deliveries for health insurance. I live in Texas, and in order to get affordable health care, I have to work. Even though I am disabled, I can't get disability. I've been considered an American with disabilities since I was young. Okay, and with the state, they know it. But I've never gotten disability. I've never gotten Medicaid, any of that. So I'm trying to get health insurance, and I have to prove to the government I can earn a certain amount of money, or I'm not eligible for affordable health care. Hello. And one of my health conditions is, besides this leg problem, is my feet and ankles. I have edema, in my feet, ankles, and the bottom portions of my legs. And then the top portion, the hamstrings, is another thing. I'm saying. But the only kind of job I can do is the food delivery, because I can't sit, stand, walk for long periods of time. And once my feet start to swell, because they do every day, because I'm doing, the only kind of job I can do, I have to go home and lift my legs. What job is going to let me do that? Elevate my legs. Not going to happen. Okay, so I'm doing this. It is just so unbelievable. But then I go to these places, like in the next one, another one yesterday was that I went to a different place to go. The floor was covered. The floor for the people with disabilities, women with disabilities, to go to the restroom. The floor was covered with a clear liquid. I don't know what I'm hoping it was water. I didn't step in it, but it was, who knows? It was just covered. And a plant on the outside of there, near where I parked, a cactus had ticks. They look like ticks. I don't know what a tick looks like. A whole bunch of them. I wouldn't even think they'd be on cacti. But it was just a whole bunch of black little bugs. I would think they were ticks. I don't know. And I'm like, people, go to this store. Went to another one. The guy coughed in his hand. He was in the drive-thru on the outside of the place. And he was real rude to me right off the bat. I said, I'm going to see your menu. And I was pointing at their menu. And he said, I said, or I asked, what is your name? I looked at him like he'd lost his mind, and he had lost his mind. And then he says, I have a menu or something like this, and then he hands it to me, and he coughs in his hand. Nothing, no glove or anything on. He coughed in his hand. I said, how gross, and I left. Just pulled away. No, thank you. You are filthy. Coughed in his hand. Oh my God. So I went to yet another place. You think eventually. Yeah, you think eventually. And went to that one, was handing finally got to order something, handing the woman my credit card, young woman. She took my credit card, and then she pulled on her nose. She was pulling on her nose. Pulling on her nose. Gross. My gosh. How gross can people be? One of those places I went through to before, but I went through the drive-thru, and a woman had these really extremely long nails, like 2-inch, from the, whatever it's called, not the cuticle area. They used to call some part of it the quick. But I looked it up last night to see, what do you call the various parts of the fingernail? Give it a shot. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I was like, I would have never known that. So many different parts of the fingernail. But like, at the end of the finger, the white part that usually turns white from that part is like an inch or two. And she's working in food, and she was trying to get something off of the countertop, like I guess it could have been my credit card, and she was just sliding those fingernails across because she couldn't pick up the credit card. I mean, that's not smart much for brains. I worked when I was a teenager. That was a long time ago. Worked in teenager, and the health department did not allow people who worked at all, not just food handlers, because some said, well, I don't handle the food. Yes, you do. You do touch, you're touching other people with those long nails, and you get all kind of bacteria on it, and then you're going to put it on the bags for customers. That's how I see it. This is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Social behavioral scientist. Okay, and then I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to even grosser with this. What about when she goes to the bathroom? If she's not smart enough to figure out how to get, a credit card, you just kind of slide it to the end of the thing and pick it up. But seriously, why did she put my credit card down? But don't wear fingernails like that, okay? When you're working with, this is my opinion. I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is my opinion. It was against the law, or whatever they do, however they, code violation or something. You just didn't have long fingernails. And now it's okay? Especially after 2020, it's okay? One pulling her nose, one has the long nails, one has the, on and on. What is wrong with this world? It's so gross. It's just that stuff like that is just so gross. And that, and then, people, they don't, how people, I've known people who will do this. They complain a lot about people who just come up and park in a disabled spot. They don't care. They say, it doesn't matter. They can walk. This kind of thing. It just, nobody I know does that. Okay, I'm saying that I know people who complain about it. I would complain about it too. But, you can't judge, and you can't say, you're not disabled. Because I remember one time I did, and the woman, it turned out, I was watching her because what she was doing was affecting me. And, driving. And I realized she was not mentally, stable, I guess I'd say. But you kind of have to wonder, why is she driving? I mean, it's me. I'm disabled, like I said. I would really get ticked off if somebody said something about me. I don't have any problems with driving, or I don't have any problems with driving, period. But somebody who is, she actually looked like she was on too much medication. Seriously. But I usually don't say anything myself because, sometimes you don't know. And they used to have these things that went underneath the rearview mirror, that hung from the rearview mirror. And I don't know It seems like it's changed several times. They used to be on the license plate itself, and on and on and on. And like, or people who go into stores with their dog, their pets. They're supposed to be service dogs or something. I don't have one, never have, but I don't have any reason for one. But that's great to me. That's great, wonderful. But then people start saying, yeah, a lot of people are doing that just so they can carry their dogs and show dominance and do whatever they want to, break the rules, this kind of thing. And I don't doubt it. But you're not supposed to be able to ask. And then I read or heard some video, read on TV, read them online or some TV news or whatever, that they're changing the rules and laws about it. That yes, they can ask for something. This is Texas. I don't know if it's just Texas or somewhere else, whatever. But they can now say, I want to see your permit or your whatever, your registration, your permit, your, not registration, but whatever it is. I think this is a good thing. Because there are a lot of people. I ran across a woman, it was probably a couple months ago. I was in a store and she was a younger woman, probably around 35 or so, maybe 40. I'm older, so everybody's younger, it seems like, practically. But she had a little dog, a very little dog. She was walking around with it. But she came, I was standing there at the end of an aisle, and she had been looking at me, She walked around, and everywhere I was, she was looking at me. And then she come up and she put her hand right in front of my face. This happens too much. And she said, excuse me, people who, excuse me. And I looked at her, I said, stand in line and wait your turn. I just said that to somebody in this store. A woman, she was doing the same kind of thing. Not putting her hand in front of me, but my shopping cart was on the one side, and I was getting something on the other side, because there was another woman on the other side with her shopping cart getting something down that aisle. Okay, so this other woman that came up, the one I told stand in line and wait your turn, she was coming down the aisle, and she wanted to get through all of us, and she was trying to get on the other side of my shopping cart, which was up against the correct side. Like if you're driving, like I'm parked right here, she was going to try to get to the other side of me, the side near the grass, like you see it right now, to get around me. I'm like, this is unbelievable. And there is another side on this. Oh, there is actually like a thing in between, and she could have gone on the other side of it. I mean, but she was wanting to show her dominance. So I looked right at her and said, like they say in school, stand in line and wait your turn. And she just didn't even look at me. I'm a gentle giant of a woman. I'm 60 years old, but I'm more of that grandma type. But how rude. I mean, I'm going to move part the lane for her, me and this other woman. We were going to make sure she got through. And, just think, two going in opposite directions, and they were there first. Me and this other woman going in opposite directions. But this other woman, she had to be in first. She was younger than both of us. She had to be first. What is wrong with this world? You don't need to tell me. It's social behavioral science. Well, my goodness. Anyway, I better get home. I got groceries out here. Yep. Talk to y'all in another video. Bye.